Are in big trouble. Today is March 9th, 2026, and they're in big trouble. I don't think people know just how dangerous of a moment this is for mainland America. And no, I don't mean greater America. What the fuck is that? ABC reported that there was an intercept originating from Iran that was being sent to covert agents overseas, potentially activating their sleeper cells after the death of the Ayatollah. Everybody knows and is aware that the terror threat in the United States has obviously gone up. We had 3 bombings just the other day, one in California, Miami-Dade, and another one in New Jersey. We then had a bomb threat or a bomb thrown outside of Mondami's house, the mayor's palace in New York. We also had a bomb threat on a Southwest plane. We also had the Kansas City airport shut down and New York airport shut down just 2 days ago. And there are reports going out that service members have been told to be vigilant and to perhaps even remove their stickers from their car so that people can't identify them as service members out in the streets. With all these happenings, you would think that the terror level or the terror threat level would have gone up and there would be a notice. But if you go to the website, it says alert right at the top that due to the government shutdown, the website has not been updated. Last update was from 2025. And it's been reported that this government blocked a report from the intelligence agencies advising about the threat level to mainland America for the American people. The administration said, nah, don't release that. So it's not even that they aren't doing the assessments, because clearly they're doing the assessments. They just won't tell you about it. Why would a government not want its people to know about the increased risk to their safety? Panic, maybe? Or they want people to be harmed. Because what's the playbook? If we have American lives lost on American soil, people tend to rally around the flag in support of these wars or these conflicts. We saw it with 9/11. We saw it with Vietnam. We've seen it with World War II. We've seen it with the Bay of Pigs. We've seen it in Cuba. We've seen it in all of these different places. The playbook hasn't changed. Your media isn't telling you that. Get a VPN. Change it to another country. Change it to Turkey. Change it to Germany. Change it to France. Change it to Tokyo. And just see what comes up when you Google Iran or USA. I promise you, the media will be very surprising. It's not. It is being reported everywhere but the U.S. and Israel that over 500 U.S. service members have lost their lives since this conflict started. It is also being reported in other places that a military unit was taken captive. In fact, the Iranian president himself, or the envoy, said himself that people have been captured. U.S. service members have been captured. Fox News, when doing the return home for the 6 soldiers who were killed, played a video from a previous return home. And you can tell the difference because a photo came out from the 6 people who were coming, and Donald Trump was wearing a baseball cap. But in the video that was played by Fox News, it was from an entirely different time. He's in an entirely different outfit. Why? Nothing you're being told in American media is real.
This is a short-term disruption for the long-term gain.
Short-term pain for the long-term gain.
Short-term pain be for long-term gain.
We're going to have some short-term pain with long-term gain.
Short-term pain for a long-term gain.
Some short-term pain, yes, but we've got some long-term gain. Short-term spike for a long-term gain.
Some short-term pain for American consumers. We may have to deal with that in the short term. Short-term and temporary.
Temporary, short-term pain.
It's going to suck in the short term.
Some short-term pain. Short-term pain. We have to focus on the short-term.
Short-term.
Short-term, and long-term.
Short-term. Hopefully this is a short-term pain. Short-term is highly outweighed of the long-term benefits.
Some short-term. Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakam Kadash. No more honors to the apostles and elders of Yasha Allah, called Haloyim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakam Kadash, for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith and the works. Y'all keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more quoted precepts. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. The devil is a natural born liar. You people of the world that's following this devil, you are a liar too, because you're following the damn liar. Like it said in the book of John 8, why do you not understand my speech? Because ye are of your father, the devil. Right? He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. Right? Roughly paraphrasing. Right? So, catch that up to modern terms, besides the Babylonian Christian doctrine, we can take it to like your everyday news. Right? With what's going on overseas with Iran, the daughter of Babylon, and Tiny Top land. Babylon keep boasting as though they just putting foot to ass over there, as it pertains to the Iranians. But we keep hearing conflicting stories, right? Keep hearing conflicting stories, and you're going to hear conflicting stories when you are able to hear both sides of a story. The daughter of Babylon requires its people to not listen to the other side of the story, meaning alternative news. They don't want you to listen to that. They want you to just take their word for being absolute and run with it, right? And in essence, once you run with it, you basically go say whatever it is they say, and you're going to speak it as though that's the absolute truth. Such as 6 servicemen have been unalived, right, in the strikes. That's been disputed, right, because of the damage that's being done to the American bases overseas, right? According to alternative news, this is way more individuals that have gone back to the Father in this war. All right, don't get it twisted. This ain't a strike. This is a war. Right? Another, falsehood that they're attaching to this, that they attached to it, right, early on, was that, this was gonna be easy money, man. It wouldn't take nothing but a couple of days, a week tops, to shut this thing down. It went from a week tops to now they're talking like 6 months. So that should let you know they not putting foot. If you were really putting foot to ass, man, it would have been over in them couple days, or in that week, like you said. It would have been like Venezuela, easy peasy in and out. But Iran ain't Venezuela. All right, Iran has been at war for years. They know all about it. They haven't been over there chilling, kicking their feet up, letting the cocoa in the poppy, the poppy fields, push so that they can, dictate, on those terms. Like, y'all gonna do what we say, unless y'all don't want these poppy fields to, dry up or whatever. Nah, that ain't the case. They've been at war, really since the Tiny Tops got done. The first week, Tiny Tops got done. Insta war, and been war ever since. They bred for it, man. Since the ancient times, man, they bred for it, right? And they not scared, right? So, yeah, man, the daughter of Babylon is in a constant propaganda push to make the daughter of Babylon seem as though they are, Captain America out this bit. Can't be touched. But fuck around with Iran, man. Them folk ain't scared at all. And they not Iran is not trying to, you know, touch over here per se, right? That's another thing in itself. The sleeper cells, and the men of the Lord been speaking about sleeper cells, man. You know, people be laughing. You know, people laugh that they mock. You know, when it comes to, so just like when we speak about UFOs or UAPs, those are just titles that the daughter of Babylon attached to the chariots of the Lord. You laugh at them because of how the daughter of Babylon has portrayed the angels of the Lord or the chariots of the Lord. They are real. Right? And you're going to see that just like you see everything else that the men of the Lord have been talking about. Right? So the mind of the people in the daughter of Babylon has been infiltrated by the liar of the world, right? Which is the wicked of the world, which is Esau Edom, according to scripture. So now when the truth is shed on the people of the world, they can't believe it because they are of their father, the devil. And the lust of their father they will do. Right? Whereas you have righteous men that are trying to please the Lord, trying to please Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, right? By praying, by prophesying, by reading the word, you know, trying to be obedient to the instructions, right? The rest of the world are trying to please this world, right? Even on the lowest level, get to the different gigs, man. They got to go above and beyond, you know, for the company. And, you know, the title is company man or company woman, right? It's not about a teamwork thing, because you know how you would get to some jobs, and in order to make shit shake, you know, you got to kind of motivate people around you to go ahead and handle business so that, you know, you can chill. Right? You know, Jake all about chilling when chilling is possible. Right? But then you got company man. Soon as a word hit, you know, they got to come down like pit bulls on the workers. Right? These individuals. Right? So, yeah, man. The beauty of the times that we're living in is this damn liar, the liar of the world, right, is being exposed. So that means his power is being taken away, right? Because everybody is seeing the lie. Even the simple-minded individuals are now beginning to question the narrative of the daughter of Babylon's associates who have the power to influence people, right? Whether they be musicians, actresses, news reporters, whatever. People are questioning things, right? And first and foremost, it's due to the spirit of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, right? Entering us into the time of revealing, which is, you know, revelation, right? A. B. Because the Lord introduced the internet to the world for this exact purpose, for exposure, right? Exposure of the Lord's word, exposure of the Lord's people, exposure of the devil, exposure of the true goings of the world, right? So that individuals who have the mindset to be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Discern, right? They have the mindset to be able to discern and weigh words, right? When they hear information or they see information, you know, a certain spirit may come over these individuals, or well, you know, a certain spirit comes over these individuals to question, and that don't sound right. So let me see what's going on over here. Okay. First and foremost, I know what scriptures say. So what they talking is absolutely false. So if the word say this, then it has to be that, right? If you understand what I'm saying. Right? So the Lord introduced the internet for individuals who have the spirit of discernment to be able to weigh stories that are told in a world full of lies, to pull out the truth of the matter, right? And so that the word can be pushed, because this gospel of the kingdom had to reach all over the world, all over the earth, all over the globe, all over the world, right? So that the end can come, so that Yahweh can make his return, right? But long story short, man, don't believe everything you're hearing on these damn news channels, man. These news channels are owned by the same individuals that's telling the daughter of Babylon what to do, right? They owned by the same individuals that say, well, these people in the Middle East, man, they got nuclear weaponry, and they can unleash this nuclear weaponry within a week, right? Then send soldiers in, don't find nothing, no weapons of mass destruction. Right, then the narrative crank back up. They got it in another facility, and in this facility, they got the possibility of creating uranium, right? Uranium, which is a key part of nuclear destruction. Send in soldiers, don't find no uranium, but you find hella oil, you find hella gold, you don't find no uranium. All right, them same individuals are the same individuals who own these damn TV stations. We can look it up. The same individuals, right? Who write the script for these news anchors and these newsmen and newswomen, right? To tell the people. Man, we living in a big ass theater, right? But the Lord has us privy to what's going on behind the stage, behind the curtains, right? We are able to see what's going on behind the curtain. Man, you gonna get over, man. Good night. Can't be nice, folks. That's another thing in this world, man. Right? This how I know this is our hell and Esau's heaven. You can't even be nice to people in this world without being taken as either weak or being taken as simple or being taken as, a lame in this world. You can't be nice, bro. You can't be good to people. Right? Well, let me not say nice. You can't be good to people. Right? Which is crazy as hell. Right? You try to be good to folk, man. Folk see that as an opportunity to get over, which is another reason why Yahweh Shai got to return, man. Right? Because our righteous spirit is being stymied in this place, man. And that's what brings, the anger. Scripture says, be angry and sin not. Right? So, because it's a natural emotion to get angry, or, to get angry. That's a natural emotion. You can't control that when you get angry. If something happens, a situation happens, it produces a natural emotion. You can't suppress that. But the Lord is saying, don't act upon that in a negative way, right? You can act upon it in a righteous way, right? But don't act upon it in a negative way, in a sinful way. The righteous way would be the understanding of it, right? Okay, we're living in a wicked world. This is why Yahweh Shai has to come do away with this world, because of this scenario, because of that scenario, right? But nevertheless, man. Yeah, man. The Lord is doing away with this place. And how the women say, we here for it. That part. Alright? So, I am with that, man. Well, willing, I'll attach a couple videos to this. If not, take the word for what it is. It's the spirit. Scripture says, the preparations in the heart in man and the answer of the tongue are from the Lord. Right? Scripture says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me. Right? So, take heed. Right? Like I said, man, don't believe what you see on these news channels, because the writer of those scripts are the same people that are inciting the chaos on this earth. It's for a purpose. Right? We know the righteous reason is, the Lord creating, the civil unrest, like he said would happen on the earth. Right? The unrighteous, which is the wicked reason, is for control. Control the narrative. Control this world's change into this new digital world order. Right? They got to get chaotic in order for them to introduce a solution. The solution for this particular event is war. Right? War produces funds. You gotta spend funds in order to have war. So if you're spending funds in a world whose funds is damn near depleted due to tariffs, right? Due to lack of camaraderie between nations, right? Which is stopping or halting certain trades. Then what the war about? They go finish the money, finish the dollar, so we can present the solution to the people. All right, here go your universal basic income, right? Since everybody hurting, and on top of that, in order to get this universal basic income, we got to get on the social credit system, right? In order to keep track of the social credit system, you got to take Revelation 13. You got to take that Quran, right? That's what it's all leading to. All this chaos on this earth is leading to Revelation chapter 13. That's the peak of this thing. All the wars, everything, it pertains to that. Right? The final test. Right? So, hey, be aware, man. Scripture says, walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time. Make sure you're doing that, Yasharallah. So I end with that. Yahweh Shemi Awashah Ratazah, you were edified by this. Call Haloyam Law. Yahweh Shemi Awashah by some Harakakodash. Shalom, Shalom, Yasha Allah, Abba, Abba.